Hello, hello.
Just getting my mints. Because I don't know if I'm going to get a little pang in my throat. Get a little pang. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? Welcome, welcome. It is Friday today. Friday, January 9th. January 9th is one of my, I guess, suppose favorite days, is because January 9th equals a 10, and 10 is one of my favorite numbers. So yay for 10, yay for 10. 10 always reminds me that it is, it's you plus the God force. And so 0 is always God. So a lot of the teachings and a lot of the healings that we do is always about Source Creator, God. January 9th is a very special day because it's you and the Creator, how you're manifesting your new reality, how you're manifesting all that is in the abundance of all that is, right? The I am with the I am. And so I guess everybody has been having really cool dreams, reminding you that you are Source Creator and your consciousness and all that you're cognizing as a being of multidimensionality. We are multidimensional. It is a given, is it a fact, is it truth? We are magnetic beings set up on a magnetic universe and galaxy, and we are push and pull with gravity and push and pull with the quantum science. This is who we are. It's always been. And we have to be very aware that we exist within these universal rules, these universal laws that allow us to substantiate who we are within creation. We're not just these separate bodies that are not attached to anything. We are attached to everything and all things. It is the law of oneness, and it is the new rules of the universe that we're moving forward and moving under and within, in, of, as spirit, and allowing us to see the grander aspects of who we are as Source Creator. We are the image of the Mother and the Father. And these allow us to look at the various ranges of discriminations and separations that each and every one of us have chosen as we've come into Earth, the Earth contact of 3D and the very dense realm, to see ourselves as separate from Source as we can, and then to recombine ourselves back together so that we can take things that have never been done before by human form, to allow ourselves on the ascension path that have never been done before, and to allow us, scared me, and to allow us new frequencies of heightened potentiality in our multidimensionality, knowing, because this is the first time humanity is waking up to the allness of our multidimensionality, which is totally different than just being a linear flat human that's kind of in a box of others' beliefs. So we're breaking all of that. We don't want to be in others' beliefs. Belief systems. We want to be in our belief system. We want to know that we are sovereign within ourselves, and within that we have the toolkit of all that we have. We don't need to go outside of ourselves for anything that we manifest. So my life story will be a story that will hold that. As everybody knows, I had the various experiences on my life, and the various symptomologies from various aspects of systematic abuse, which affects billions of people across our planet. It affects more people than it doesn't affect, and the very few people that are living very wealthy, abundant lives is, if we talk about monetary standings, because that's what we have right now is an economic system, and the economic system and those that live within it, where there are no worries for them, are a very small portion of our total human population, and we have to know that that is a concern. It's been a great concern. We've talked about it as the very basis and the core of our systemic abuse, which is how imbalanced the systems are politically, socially. It's the church and state systems, which we all know they have brought many discriminations and many harms to the human collective. Not understanding higher consciousness throughout if you're going to be a leader, if you're going to be leaders of people, you'd think you'd want the highest level of intelligence possible. That we're moving into ascended areas and we're moving into ascended arenas. It's not going to stop. Our ascension energies are going to keep bathing the planet. They're going to keep bathing each and every one of us. The new omnipresent light is coming. All of the light that's coming from a myriad of different directions. It's coming from the sun. It's coming from the galactic federations. It's coming from Mother, Father, God. It's coming from each and every one of us. And so these energies that we're emitting and we're playing with and we're inciting and we're negotiating and we're playing with the fairies and we're playing with all of these things that are source consciousness. We're bringing not only our ancient memories back from ancient timelines and ancient temples, we're also bringing the native timelines where we've had on many of the lands that we've been moving in many of our ancient lands like Australia, many of the North American experiences, and bringing it all back through our remembrances and through the healing that accesses our DNA. And the DNA that we've said yesterday was through the mRNA, in which all of our Akashic information is kept and held, and that is designed by Source Creator. And so in that, you and Source know exactly where you've been, what you've been doing, and there's no past really. It's all now. It's all in a spiral and a cycle of now. We talk about cycles so much because they're so important for you to tap into. to truly understand what your unique ascension cycle is. No two people are on the same ascension cycle. They never ever will be. They're meant to be doing and moving in different ways in different arenas, just because you each have different lifetimes of of experience, right? And what has affected you has not affected you in the same way that it's affected somebody else, because your experiential soul is different. How the depths and the widths of your soul are different. The sandwich and the salad that you exist within is different. You can feel source and you can experience source and you can be with source in different ways. And that's really the consciousness. So we say consciousness, and you can have another metaphor of it. Another analogy of consciousness is how you feel yourself with all creation. And to only know that, you have to move through the 3 E's. You have to know how you're exploring source, how you're exploring yourself within source, how you're exploring and expressing yourself and experiencing yourself within source. And that's really the salad, that's really the sandwich and the juice. That is the sustenance of the inhale and the exhale. Knowing that you're always safe, it's always with source, and you're always guided. Only if you are you're leading by your higher self. If you're leading through anything outside of you, you're going to go through those, tumultuous journeys where you're going to have to go back within because you've hit so many walls, because you've got tower moments, and you're going to have to say, okay, what the hell is going on? And then you get that higher self guidance to move in appropriate manners. So source and creation and the universe will keep showing you what your highest vibration is within. And I was having kind of an ad hoc healing session last night with somebody that that I've met in one of the coffee shops, and she was having a particular tough time. She knows that she's been shown many synchronicities about not being taken advantage of anymore, and she was going through a few challenges with a possible work environment that were continually laying things on her responsibility plate. And we had a chat, and she come to the conclusion that she was being taken advantage of, in these various ways, and asking her to do more work with no pay, asking her to do more work without the compensation for this one particular thing they wanted her to do. And knowing the background, and knowing as a manager myself in many aspects of work environments here, public and private, as well as retail, I know as a manager that I know the laws in some of these things they're asking her to do. And so I was just explaining it to her, and what the responsibility was on her supervisor's behalf, and the work responsibility on the company's behalf. And so now that she knows that, I was helping her, come and support herself in knowing that she can start setting intentions, so that she can start proving to the universe that she wants to start feeling herself in higher vibrational ways, because she doesn't want to keep attracting those people that will keep taking advantage of her. And she knows that, and she's had a tough time, and she wants to see herself in better financial arenas, and she wants to see herself stand up in her own power. But there's been nobody showing her the way. She's learned many of the things on how she's lived life from her family, which she's recognized and acknowledged. And so all of these things are ways that you can do your path work and start marking it out and getting a journal, so that you can have these experiences for yourself and know that when I reflect upon these things, what is it that I want to see for myself? I don't want to keep taking on these responsibilities that are not hers, but they were dumping it on her, because heretofore she was taking them on quite freely, but she was still, left with no energy. She was taking on extra hours at work, and nobody was, appreciating her or valuing her. There was no worth there. And she was finding, where I'm putting in all this work, being a good employee, but nobody is valuing me. And so she's now taking steps to say, I want to work with people that are going to take care of my energy, are going to take care of my kindness. They're going to take care of my carefulness, and you want that reciprocation back. And when you pay attention to it, and you give gratitude and appreciation for those that are truly careful with you, and careful with the things that they want to see in you, and to play a part in your life, and they can show you those things energetically. Some of us can see those things energetically. We don't have them in the physical yet. But we're playing with it in the spiritual realms. There's a few people that have been showing me how careful they choose to be with me in the future, if I choose to have a life with them, and if I choose to make them a special part of my life. And so it is right now for me, it is the carefulness of how people pay attention, and how people understand the challenges and the horrible harms that it is, that systematic abuse has caused to so many people across our planet. It has caused damages in our socio systems. It's caused damages in the children and how they see the perspective of reality. The imprints that are in the reality right now, which we're going to clear and cleanse today. We've got a very important one today. We're going to do a spiritual decree I'm going to do a spiritual decree for the spiritual high courts, and this will play a part in all of the realms that have humanoid frequencies on them, that have species on them, and this will be a blanket. Father has given me the okay because it is my authority, it is my ranking. I'm here to make changes across the galaxy as I see fit to the damages and the harms that have been done with misinformation and misguidance and absolute and utter tormenting beliefs that people have chosen to take on. People have chosen to make it a part of their rituals. And we're talking specifically those that it doesn't matter what it's called, satanic type of rituals, Illuminati type of rituals where they incite torment to feed their rituals. I'm going to keep speaking on them, and we are going to do a decree. And this decree today will go within the galactic frequencies, and any being and any energy and entity that is engaged in these types of rituals that bring torment purposefully to innocent children by the things that they do in their rituals. And then they bind them, or they do any type of root work or binding work in other people's names that are of spiritual standing, like myself or Jesus. And they misuse and abuse spiritual order to bring and incite torment into innocent beings, because that's how they feed, that's how they gain in their dark energy, is through tormenting rituals. This has been similar to the hunting games that have been seen and known about. There's been videos, apparently, from what I've heard on the black web, where they actually, humans sign up for these types of hunting games, and they think that it's like a pretend game, but they're actually not. They're actually hunted, and then they're videotaped and exploited again on the black web. So again, anything that you find on the black web is the cesspool of humanity. It is the cesspool of the detachment of your conscience from spirit, your spirit. If there is nothing that is spirit to your matter form, that is the beings that are walking around doing these types of rituals, because your spirit has been detached from all that is matter. There are various MK Ultra type of agendas. There are type of mind control agendas that assist the mental enforcement of mental thought, of enforcement of energy manipulation, of thought of emotional harm and damage that some of these people are sign up for. They agree to do it because they want to be a part of a special cult, and they agree to be a part of things that are degrading, humiliating, abusive on all frequencies. And then it gets more and more dark. And these are big, large groups on our planet of organized dark demonic rituals, and they use innocent children. Many of the women that are in these harems and in these groups bear children just to go into the demonic rituals, to feed their hate, to feed their glorification of darkness. There is no Satan and there is no entity that feeds this, just so that you know. It is just dark realm. So I've had verification from source this morning that these people that do these rituals, they will be remaining in the lower realm. They will not be given any opportunities for further bodies in an incarnation of 3D or higher. So in them doing these rituals, just know, this will be a part of our decree, that it is known across our planet, and those that continue to want to be a part of being a teacher, a healer, and a leader in the energetic arts. And we say energetic arts, meaning that you have to obviously understand the dark arts, but you don't go out intentionally and incite doing sacrifices on innocent people. You're meant to know about the dark arts, but you're not meant to go and incite danger and incite death and harm and whatever it is that you think you're going to do, and play God over other people's lives. The beings that have been doing these things have come from many lineages of different reptilian, draconian timelines. And it's just gone more and more demonic because there are so many people on the planet, and they've learned how to monopolize. They've learned how to exploit. They've learned how to make a business on everything that is suffering, which they've done to me. And they've shown me through this decree, because I have to see what goes on. They've hidden a lot from me, but as a healer for the collective, as a speaker and a human rights activist, as a galactic princess, and as a sacred toner, as somebody that helps pass souls through the gates so that Anubis and I can work together to heal these souls, and they go back to Source Creator for healing. These beings, these mostly children that are used, mostly starseeds and light workers like myself that are used, their intention is to these groups is to take these children. So there's a trigger warning. If you cannot handle what I'm going to say about the dark demonic rituals that go on the planet, you might want to turn off. And how many of these groups use the dark and demonic rituals is they do it in a very number of ways. If they want your soul and your spirit, they start by doing months and months and even years in advance, and they start depleting your aura. They start sucking and doing rituals like root work and energy work, and they in gangs and cults and groups, and they do negative chanting and negative harmful spell work, glamour spells, poverty spells, cock blocking spells, for anything to come towards you that is good and nice, and anybody feeding you with a compliment, anything energy that's coming to you, they start to block it off. And then they start to enhance the numbers and the times and the rituals around mind control and hate chanting. And because we're all conscious beings, because it's all going into the grids, energy is energy. It never stops. It never dies. It has to continue. It's an infinite living energy. It just goes and goes and goes. You have to alchemize it. And so, and then what they do is, and these children that are obviously babies that can't run and they cannot hide and they cannot have a voice of themselves, because if it's taken me 6 to 8 years to come to the forefront and have a channel that has not grown because of YouTube's corruption involved in this, it's starting to slowly grow now. Because of the pilfering and because of the messing with my dates, you can see it's blatant that my accounts have been messed with for a very long time. There's been no accountability. There's been no resolve on my end. And for me, for someone that has the heavens and the systems of light that are supporting me, for them to have constant surrounding of help on my behalf, these children don't have a chance. You know, these children that are born into it, or they're seeming vulnerable if they're born to parents or mothers that are not caring for them or not seeming to care. Some of these groomers are in schools as teachers. Some of them are in the community and churches. They're seeking and they're studying and they're recruiting who is going to be in these demonic rituals. Many of them are held in the industry and in these underground worlds of elitism. And their theories and their ideas of doing these rituals is to allow them to get enough innocence and torment the innocence, which feeds their darkness. And they think this is their belief. They think, because they're wrong, so they think that in doing these rituals, in damaging and demolishing and tormenting an innocent person, and that can be done in a myriad of different ways. They've shown me many different pictures about girls being gang raped, even boys, young boys being gang raped, and they torment the person, and then they do rituals around every torment act that they do. So whether it's sodomization, whether it's chaining, whether it's raping, whatever that sodomized act is, and they usually include sexual abuse in the act. While they are doing, they have a head ritualizer, usually a demonic, and they think they're ranked, and they have these special little terms and words that they use because they think they're ranked and they're not. They will never be ranked in the spiritual realm. They will remain in the mud realm. This is the Father's decree, and I am going to be offering this decree for the very first time across this planet that has a very large dynamic group of, I'm only saying dynamic because it's what they think they want to believe. So hopefully they'll get and find my video of these dynamic people that fool the people that they are around, and they pretend that they are normal social humans. And in behind the scenes, they go into underground experiences, underground little tunnels, and underground places of businesses and places of business, warehouses, and even tunnels, and they perform these very demonic rituals in which they torment and they abuse and they bring fear and they bring the anxiety until the person is just in so much fear and damage that they release themselves from their spirit and their body, and then they do binding work on somebody else that they want to take that is higher spiritual ranking, like myself. Now these acts are beyond deplorable. They're beyond imagining. They're beyond disgusting. They're beyond abhorrence. They're beyond the worst words you can think of. There's a large community of these people on the planet. They have been brought to believe, and many of these rituals, how they were based, the base of these rituals, how these people have been taught time and time again. They've been regurgitating these rituals way back in, some of them in the darker temples in Egypt. And these temples were because of, we've talked about this before in our videos, and these are truths, and this is my decree, and the Father is backing it, and from now on, this decree will be law. These beings that were choosing these rituals from way back when, they were of draconian and reptilian identifications in their DNA. And for these beings, because of how their species had been arranged and how their behaviors in their species have been arranged, a lot of their behaviors in feeding, the only energy that they could get was a darker energy. And how they could feed darker energy is what? Through fear and domination and control. These are fear-based realities, and we're here to heal it and then create new. This is the process of evolution. It's called evolution. It's called evolution, people. You're supposed to evolve over time. Now, because of these DNA applications and these DNA allocations within the DNA, they sometimes come forward and they create some of the same attributes, because in the cycle of their ascension path, they're not really operating any different, because every time they come up a situation and they feel threatened, they're going to keep going back into karmic patterns, which is, I'm going to have power over you. I don't like how you're standing. I'm not willing to face myself and change. So therefore, I'm going to attack you. And they do so by dark occult rituals, because they want to feed that part of themselves that is in that wounding, because they're not looking at the newer information, the higher intelligence, the higher light wisdoms, because they're still stuck on those rotations of those behaviors in those species in that DNA, and their DNA cannot raise any higher because they're not bringing light to it and activating it through higher vibrational beliefs and teachings, which again, as I said to the world leaders, you've got yourself behind the 8 ball. You're now seeing all of these psychotic experiences in the collective that will be brought up for the collective to see and to know what goes on in the underground, in the black web. And they will be seen through actual glitches, and they'll be seen through people that are going to come forward that have escaped. They're going to come through and be seen by whistleblowers. These are going to come out through the woodwork, left, right, and center. And now what we are saying through this decree, as we said yesterday, Source Creator, Mother, Father, God have said, these are my children. Nobody on this planet has a right, because as you are my child as well, I can take you out with a breath. If you ever touch another life and you think that you are God taking other people out with a breath, because you don't have the right and you won't. The decrees are now, those that are creating such horrible, horrible crimes, and you absolutely know, do unto others 3 words, and as they come and play as if they're righteous, normal people in the collective, as they go about their daily business while they're luring and stalking and studying their next victim through the human hunting games and through the human harvesting games, through the human elite harvesting games, so that elitism and rituals for the elite industry people and the people that are being dark Satanists and dark priestesses and dark warlocks and dark masons and 33rd degrees of what? It doesn't matter what you call yourself. I will tell you once and again, and every time you bring anything in front of me, you will never be ranked ever. You will never go beyond the darkest realm, ever, 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 ever. These types of rituals began way back when in the darker temples, and it was brought and regurgitated forward. But now that you're in a human body, it would only make sense that you're no longer full draconian, nor are you full reptilian. You have aspects of that in your DNA, but are you walking around as a full draconian? Are you on Draco? Are you stressing to survive for your resources? These are billions of years old people. And why they did these rituals, because all there was dark. But these rituals have continued even though we are an evolved species, you would think. I have to be this blatant because it's kindergarten, and these things are being done, and it's been normalized, and it's been even brought into what you have called, since I started speaking about it and bringing it to the forefront, it was even classified as a special little thing that elite people and people that did not have the intelligence to know what was truly going on and to know how you are truly ranked as a soul and to understand sacred energy and where you truly become from and where you truly will go to. It is your soul, it is eternal, and it is Source Creator. And if you absolutely degrade and abolish and demonize and do rituals like this, then you will never ever come back into another body. Why would you? You don't respect any of it. You don't respect the life that you demonize and torment, so that the darker energies, because that's all you've got, that's all you have allowed yourself to heal and move beyond, is the feeling of control over others. And they do these demonic rituals because it feeds their deep, dark hole of having control over others. It feeds the dark well within them. It's not feeding love. It's not feeding compassion. It's not feeding unity consciousness. Therefore, unity consciousness will not be activated in these beings, and they will remain in the lower realms. You are no longer draconians. You're no longer reptilians. You have this in your DNA, yes, but you will no longer walk on a planet as a humanoid and pretend to be a part of a social world. Then at nighttime, you go into your underground little tunnels and your underground little meat packing centers, and you do these horrible little rituals where you're demonizing and tormenting people, and then you're actually exploiting it on the black web. And as we said yesterday, why isn't any other video platform ever shown on YouTube? But the black web videos through their glitching is. Investigations, I want answers on these. And you will have it to me within 3 months. There is not going to be an elite on this planet. I don't care about your robe, about what you wear, about your name, and about where your house is. I don't care if you own every oil field. I don't care if you have a letter or 3 digits behind your name. I don't care. To the universe and to Mother, Father, God, you are a child as equal as the dirtiest person on this planet that lives in poverty that you would so much as sell for $100 if you could, and if you would, you would. None of you have a right to use your money in this way, and it will be stopped and it will be blocked as soon as you can say boo. I'm here now. This is my garden. These are thousands of year old rituals that have been taken to the most demonic, ugly places. And it's been exploited on what you call the black web, because the more and more fear you get, the more and more you dance with this darkness and with this devil. We asked you and we said yesterday, how important is your soul's evolution? Because the more you dance with this energy, you will never ever come back into another body, because your body only needs to be supported by light. And if you're not infusing it, if you're not igniting it, if you're not engaging with it, if you're not calling it in, if you're not having an alliance with light in any way, your physical form will not manifest in its health, and it will not continue. You will go into entropy. These are basic truths and facts. Satan and Lucifer are employees of source creator God. And if God says, okay, Lucifer, you've had your playtime now with this one group of people, with this one group of cult, go in and take the bodies that you want, and you're going to take the bodies from the ones that are in the cult. You will not touch any more innocent children. And what's going to happen is that just enough of these people and the children have agreed through only Father Source. That's the only way that a child is taken out, through the backlash and through the return of magic and voodoo and all the other things that these people have been doing. The only way that children are taken out is the child agrees to, so that the parent can actually see how much damage they have done, because there might be a little spark of conscience left in that father or mother on seeing how much damage they have put their children through to have them involved in these environments. And even have them on the sacrificing plate several times, but they didn't. Why? Because their mother that actually cares about them is wrapping them with angelic light. And you're not going to touch my seed. See, you think you know what you're doing in the spiritual realm, people of the planet. Satanists and Luciferians and Demonicians and whatever you want to call yourselves. I don't care the name. This is a spiritual decree that will step down now in my garden and forevermore to this galaxy, because this is my realm. I ripple throughout the entire galaxy and universe and cosmos, and my name and my voice will be held. I am of royal lineage, and I am making this right. You will not touch another child on this planet for your dark ass rituals. You will evolve beyond a 3,000-year-old ritual that was done when you were full draconian or full reptilian. You're not anymore. And you will not use torment or fear or domination tactics or your underground sex tactics to rip apart people's souls and people's spirits so you can feel as if you got control over people. And is that your highest intelligence? I'm asking you, worldly, global Luciferians, satanic Aryans, whatever you call yourselves. Is that your highest intelligence? The cycle you will be on, the Father has said as a decree right now, mark it in the Akash and the higher spiritual courts. Do I have the papyrus ready? Do I have the crystal templates ready? Are we in all of our Akashic schools ready for this statement from the Father? And this access of this realm and this galaxy, the federations. Yes, princess? The Father hath said, this is a new decree. Any of those beings that are of consciousness, within a standing body and face and realm, you will no longer be allowed to touch the innocence of life that hath been given through the Holy Father and the Holy Mother. And they walk this planet in full rights of their destiny and their spiritual decree to be all that they are. None shall ever torment another soul through their exploitation and money making.
just so they can have the joy of being in a momentary charge of power over another and domination to feed your sick access that you have refused to heal and you have refused to see higher intelligence. These will no longer continue. These rituals are done. The book is closed. This dark magic book is closed. And I see a huge magic dark book, and it is closed, and there is dust rumbling across the universe. You think you know magic. Be very aware. You pull another one of these stunts, and the Father will have you around your finger, times 10. There will be no more magic of these decrees ever in this realm. The universal law will be, we will be committed to raising consciousness. We will be committed to understanding universal truth and laws. We will be committed to understanding spiritual higher order and that every life is unto itself sovereign with the Father, source, creator. That is only its destiny to itself, of thyself, as spirit. Are you heeding this decree? And if you could hear the bellowing of the Father, there are clouds and there are regions of space that are rippling. And make no mistake, if there is going to be an earthquake, make no mistake on who it hits. There will no longer be such tormenting exploitational rituals where you are inciting danger and torment and harm and such fear while you are binding it to a sacred soul's name as Jesus the Christ or myself or God. This will never, ever occur again. These things do not occur in evolved civilizations. If you so choose, you will never have another body ever again, and you will remain in the lower realms as mud. You have asked this of your lineage. You have asked this of your ancestries. Now I ask you one more time, satanic Luciferians and your negative dark-ass rituals. Is this your highest consciousness? Does this sound intelligent to you? That you are binding yourself and your ancestors and all of your lineages from here on out. You will never have another body. You will never have another incarnation, and it will remain in the mud realms. Does that sound intelligent to you? And is your money worth it? How good is your money going to be when you're nothing but mud? Are you getting it now, people? There will never be another child injured and tormented. For the sake of very sick people that refuse to get healed. These are done in organized groups with very elite officials, with very elite government, with very elite leaders, politicians, judges, lawyers, bankers, those people that claim themselves and title themselves as elite. Sometimes they are involved in the actual rituals, and sometimes they are not. They know about the rituals. They know about the monies that transpire. They know about the exchange. These things are also linked to the trafficking rings. I will walk behind each and every one of you. I will read your souls as I am given privy to. I will be given names and numbers. I will be given faces and images. And there is nothing that anybody can do to stop this. Because the Father is going forward with the Father's evolutionary plan. And evolution actually means you're evolving beyond barbarianism. And what has been done on this planet is actually even lower than that. Now, Father has also given me, because there are those of you that are empaths and healers that will have to be a part of us helping and assisting whatever children can survive and escape these experiences. And if they are babies and children under the age of 3 and 4, they usually do not survive, and their bodies are sacrificed. And which of those that I help transfer through to Spirit and Source, sometimes you see this on my videos, they are the souls that I'm helping transfer, and some of them have been since the 70s. There's many souls that have been taken and many children that have been taken on behalf of these disgusting, wrong, misguided, misinformed rituals of absolute and utter ignorance. It's ignorance. It's disgusting ignorance. Because they cannot feed anything with love, because they have detached themselves from spirit. Their body and their physical matter has been detached from spirit. The only way for them to gain life force, for them to survive, is to feed themselves through the darker energies. This is all about energy humanity. We have to understand this. It's not about religion. You've hidden behind religion. That's what you've done. You've hidden behind religion, so you can't be seen for the wounds that you carry. And the wounds that you carry are how you're feeding the negative, the dark, and the neutral energy. It's all about energy. It's all it's ever been about. Now, once you understand this, and if we create that core understanding, then perhaps we can move along and evolve. Because this decree today, never been done on a planet like this ever before. I am partnering with the heavens. That's my right. That's my duty. That's my jurisdiction. And I am bringing heavenly order to a place that has been so tormented. And the children hath called out to me from generations, from galaxies, and from universes, because there is no voice on this planet for the children and the innocent starseeds that actually want to fulfill their destiny that is beyond being trafficked. Every world leader, if you do not make healing and light wisdoms a part of your everyday revolution, evolution, to be brought to your people, you will be on notice, and you will only be given a matter of days before you are moved by Source Creator. Make that a part of your agenda. If you know that these children are being so horribly taken, and their spirits and their souls are crying, I hear everything. I see what these children have been done. And you better thank God you are not a seer. If I am shown something, I will show the collective just enough that they wake up. Secret societies and secret cults and covens and Masonic groups of such distortions. Whatever it is you do in your rituals, you better think 10 times, 12 times, 1,000 times before you even pick up a jar, a mirror, a box, a voodoo doll, or pins, or some graveyard sand, or toilet water, or whoever you call for your voodooism. I don't care about your name. I don't care about your bankroll or your Bitcoin account. It will be taken as soon as you can say boo. The Father wants you all to know you have done the most egregious to the most sacred, and you have included the most sacred's name in it because you think that if you bind the sacred name of the Christ or myself or God in the torment and the wounds that you're placing on innocent children as they scream for help, while you're cutting them and you're sodomizing them, if you think that this is intelligent, you will never ever move out of the mud. And that's your choice. There will be never any children taken ever again. They have their right. Be very clear about this decree to reestablish balance, to reestablish spiritual decree, to reestablish spiritual order. Spiritual order is now in this court and on these grounds across all grids in the spiritual realm. Gaia is a spiritual planet. This is New Earth Star, and her spiritual grids are now active. Face me. Face me, O tormentors. Stand before me. What say ye? Come forward. What say ye? 3 or 4 of them have stepped forward. This is what I'm seeing in the spiritual courts, taking place right now in the spiritual realms, by their higher selves, by their ancestors and their lineage. They're asking for apology. They're saying, will I accept their apology? Who are you? What say ye? Why are there only 4 of you? The others don't want to come forward, cowards. How many have you taken? How many have you taken? All of you. How many have you taken? How many has your group taken? And you're asking to be spared. Father, what say ye? Anubis, bring forward the spirits and the souls of those children taken. What say ye, children? Father, what say ye? Fine. Is this your final say, children? For such powerful children. You're coming back, children. You're coming back into the grids. You can be released. Thank you, children. Thank you for your service. Thank you, holy children. Thank you, holy children. You are allowed back in these grids. We thank you so much for your service, children. And we apologize. Please forgive those that have done harm to you in previous realms, in previous cycles. Will you forgive them, children? The children have spoken. This is how it's going to go from here on out, people. You don't think the children have access to higher order? They do. It stands right today. First time ever. The children have made their decree. Out of all those that have been taking lives of the innocent and tormenting and exploiting them on the sacrificial grids that you call the black web, each and every one of you will be known, and each and every one of you will not be spared except for 7. And the Holy Father has said those 7 beings that come forward and do right in the returning of money stolen, taken, and raped. And you will make right on the deeds that you have taken lives from, and you will make right on the deeds, and you will show it. You will actually show it. You won't hide in secret, waiting for somebody else to make it right for you. You have to redeem your souls, and this is the children's will for you. If you can show, of the 7 that have been shown, the children have seen 7 of you that could redeem your souls for another lifetime in another body. And the Father has agreed. And the Father will see to it that you 7 of you that choose to come forward and redeem yourselves through the Father only. And this is how it will go. 7 of you will be saved. And you must show it, and you must return all monies. All of it. That means your private bank accounts offshore. That means your private black web accounts, whatever it is. You will return it. Anubis, are you satisfied? Fine then. The gavel hath fallen. There will be no more rituals. The children will have their destinies as they were born with it. There is no human on this planet that plays God over these children's destinies and their souls' blueprints. They will be allowed their cycles. And you will all take higher form and of higher order about what actual do unto others actually means. And if you have to pretend your way through life, and if you have to pretend your way through everyday occurrences, and then you go to your secret little places and you feed yourself with hate, then you need to get healed, and you need to go through light, and you need to go through self-love and self-care and self-compassion. Because feeding your body with hate and wounding through the torturing of others is no longer, that is the decree today. And you have all seen what occurs in spiritual court, and watch it unfold in the physical. It is my jurisdiction to assure that this section of the galaxy and realm be lifted through light and love and proper spiritual order and proper spiritual information. You will no longer run this planet like a trafficking ring. World leaders, Pick up your socks. You're in very important roles. You will not treat your people like rats. You will share your monies equally and get rid of your warheads. It won't be needed. That's my promise. We do not deal with things this way. 7 of you will be spared that have been involved in these rituals and experiments. And you know how many lives were taken, and I will not disclose that number that was discussed today in spirit. All of these lives will be sent back that have been tortured. This is the Father's will, and they will be allowed other cycles to be who they are with spirit and source, and their lineages and ancestors. They will be saved because it was not their choosing to be tormented. The Father has also given me, for those of us that are seers and healers and empaths, and those that will be healing such people that will be coming to us for healing of such tormenting traumas. The children that will be coming back into the grids, their souls, like myself, will not have the memories of what had happened, so that they do not have to live through the Akashic healing of the traumas that I have seen, that have taken place on these children. And then, if you cannot imagine it getting any worse, having it exploited on the web and in and amongst groups. Thereafter, they celebrate their fat bellies with gluttonous feeding. And they laugh in their bellowous laughing. And you think this is intelligent while you walk around hiding all day long about who you truly are. Get healed. Planet Earth, your highest priority right now is to get healed. Face the shadow that is before you. It will not go anywhere until you face it. These things will no longer be allowed, and there will be criminal charges. Make new laws right now. If you know, and if you are a part of these rituals, you may want to make alterations. You will be given no more warnings. There is no more windows of opportunity. These 7 people out of millions and billions of the packets that we talked about today, those that are involved in these rituals, whether you hear about this or not, your higher selves and your ancestors and everybody in the spiritual realms are now walking with me and us to move evolution forward. The realms walk with me. All your deities walk with me. But it's your ego and your wounding on the human side that thinks you're going to take over God and you're going to take God over and you're going to run a planet just through torture and human hunting and trafficking, that you think this is going to be the destiny of Gaia. And I'm going to tell you, you're sadly mistaken. You will live forever in mud. The Father has spoken. Touch not my anointed is an actual thing. And it will be reverberated back to you through the harshest of karmas. All of your money will stop. Your health will stop. Everything will stop. It must get this blatant for you to wake up. If you continue to practice these dark occult experiences where you hurt, trauma, interfere, take, rape, steal, own, trade, bet, bid, and exploit other lives so you can feed your ignorance, because that's all it is. It's ignorance. It has nothing to do with what you call religion. You've hidden behind it. And you falsified your churches, and you falsified the cloth. It stops today. This will be the decree rung through all creation, rung through all sides of this universe, and all beings and all species will know it. If you are tempted and taunted to do such things, please get yourselves assessed, because the demons are coming out. And unless you know how to deal with these demons and face the shadow, you have to know where you stand, because you will no longer play both sides. Are we clear? The rules of the garden are: do unto others, the right use of free will and non-interference. Stay out of everybody's lives. Stop stalking them. Stop spying on them. Stop testing them. Soulmates and lovers are meant to go through your higher self and God and let God set these things up for you, because God knows exactly what you deserve. God knows exactly how many more lessons you have. God knows exactly where the maturity of your soul is. God knows exactly what level of instigation of next lessons your soul has to learn before you open your heart up for somebody new. Your spirit guides this is what your spirit guides are for, people. Your church person's not going to know that. Your church person doesn't have any idea about your soul's blueprint. Your church person doesn't have any idea about how many people in your family are actually Illuminati that have been trying to kill you since birth. They're a part of it. They're getting paid to keep you confused, keep black magic over you. The cult in Calgary, make no mistake about it, you're going to return every penny that you ever stole and took from me, and you ever signed a fake piece of paper, and you ever signed a fake piece of anything to pretend that you're me because you're not. Any death certificate, any POA, you're going to take to the police, and you're going to absolutely show these as a part of your redemption of your soul. You're going to take whatever you've done, and you're going to take it to the police, and you're actually going to have these as a part of your confessions. Calgary police and everybody involved, every minute that you do not arrest people that are doing such things like this, you are actually going to be held liable. And may that earthquake, perhaps it hit right underneath your house before you wake up. You're supposed to be holding higher order. You're supposed to be holding higher order, people. So if a person like myself that is so gravely ensconced and seated with the Father and all creational life, if I am this seated and this is the respect I get, and I sleep on the street every night with 50 cents in my wallet, no support, no protection, no nothing but the Father and all of the spiritual realms. Now, if this is my decree, this is my ranking and my power, how in God's name do you think any child will ever survive this planet? And why there is not one statue of any woman that you are ever taught means anything on this planet? Are you seeing very blatantly, dear ones, when you do the alchemy work, how good you feel? When you're transmuting darkness and pain? You actually feel when you stand up for somebody because they're your brother and your sister, or maybe your lover in your next life? When you actually say and do that, when you put your name and your hand on that Bible, that you're actually stating something that is a spiritual law. And when you cross it, I see it. I'm gonna see it. And it doesn't matter how many times and how many ways you want to try and take me down, you want to try and take me out, and you use your MK Ultra and use your fancy little toys. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you have the best Satanists on the planet. It doesn't matter if you have the best voodooists, because one by one, they're all going blind. They're all taking themselves out. They're all going insane, and they're all taking their own way because their magic is going to backfire. Their magic is going to backfire. Your voodoo is going to backfire. You're going to find yourself under a sinkhole under your house, or you're just going to get caught up in a storm that just gets just like that. This is how much command I have, dear lighted ones. It's how much command I have. And I have full decree by the Father. These tortures will no longer take place. There will be no child that will be dumped in the ocean. There will be no child that will be dumped in a bag, in a garbage can. They're showing me bodies that are held in garbage dumping fields because of these rituals. What do you think happens to a diseased body when it's dumped in the oceans, dear lighted ones? What do you think happens to it? Do you think the energy just stops once they take the spirit and once they take that soul? See, it's your lack of understanding. So all those that do such rituals, you have no idea what you're doing. It's utter ignorance. And your answer is dump it in the ocean? So what happens to the water you're drinking right now at your table? Oh, wise one. And you think you're not going to have entropy in 5 years? Oh, Epstein, wise one. So we're at a very pivotal point right now, as we've said our videos for the last 8 years. You're behind the 8-ball, and now you're facing an evolutionary quest. How important is your soul's evolution? Are you going to wake up out of this place that you've been numb and dumb behind, not understanding energy, not understanding who you are, what you exist within, that you've gone to such length to conform and be okay with the abhorrence on the planet and in every city that is secret cults and covens and stalking and spying and hacking that go on? Because all of these dark little groups refuse to get healed. And doing other crimes is a little bit more important than taking money from people, taking their entire retirement, taking their riches, taking the things that they've actually worked really hard for, taking people on these dating scams, the Calgarian cult. How many people have you fooled out of their money? When you're pretending to go on a date with somebody, meanwhile, you've got 2 or 3 marriages that you're doing in the background, and you got your little harem that you do your harvesting of energy with, and you play your little escort games, and you play your little dating games, you put little things in the drinks. I want to ask you, how many people's money, how much money did you take out of people? I'm asking the cult in Calgary, and the ones you're affiliated with, how much money? Spirit, I want a number. How much money? This one cult connected with everybody they're connected with. How much money? Really? Interesting. How many people are they connected with? Interesting. Would you like to know how much money, dear lighted ones? Just this one cult and the affiliations that they're connected with, the very high elites and the shadow government. Guess how much? Guess how much? You want to know? Do you want to know how much money they've taken from the people? 15 million. Around about. And how many people, Spirit? Are you sure you want me to let that number out? They said I can hold it back. The cult in Calgary are just little minions. There's many of them involved. I've been speaking on this and my discrimination case for the last 5 years, and there's videos that go back 5 to 6 years. The mind scraping goes back 4 or 5 years, 3 or 4 years. These are things that are actually done to make you go numb and dumb and to put power over you through energy, through magic, through voodoo, through chanting, and through rituals, through the dark occult magic. And they have people that they pay to do this. Some of them are the dark, corrupt governments and the shadow governments. And they know who they are because they owe me my inheritance that should have been brought to me when I was about 20. And they owe me my birth records. They owe me exactly who I am. I want my records and I want my dual passports. You're not going to move me from my post. My voice ripples through all creation. It is done. This is a decree. It is done. There are laws now being written for planet Earth, NEStar Earth. These are the spiritual laws. So before you do a demonic ritual to feed your hate and your control and fear and domination because you've lost sight of love, perhaps you go in a very serious intention to bring back love and work with God, Source Creator, and your guides and your higher self. These are the only ways for you to move into higher evolutionary consciousness. Your churches and your religions will not take you there. They don't know alchemy and they don't understand higher spiritual law. Who are you? You are a Metatronic light being. If you detach and separate yourself from the only light that you were blessed and birthed with and breathed with through the Source Creator God as you came here with your soul's blueprint and destiny in hand, you need nothing outside of you but you. This is the Christed toolkit. Has nothing to do with religion. It's been distorted. All you need is you and Source and love and care and your light within. Work with your light within. Dear lighted ones, we talk about it on our every video. Your chakra system are pivotal. And if there is anything in our collective to do and have any regard with agendas that are here to touch and to harm and to attack the chakras, you better alter course and make your affairs very known. Because you're going to have a whistleblower down your throat as quick as you can say boo. Because the Source is saying enough. You will no longer impede, delay, derail, misogynize, marginalize, monopolize, discriminize, put any of these ISs on the hindrance of humanity moving forward. Their hearts and their souls and their spirits have spoken. These decrees will support them, and these decrees will lift them, and these decrees will ensure that they have destinies. There will be no child hurt, and if they are, you will never be brought into form again. And that is just a law. Are we clear? Your consequences are your choices. Be very sure about what you do. Are we clear? Physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, vibrationally, financially, you need to be very clear about your choices because you will absolutely affect your lineage on what you think is your sustaining rituals and practices. Perhaps you get wise. Perhaps you get healed. And perhaps you put light where you think power and control over others is. Because you will never be ranked thinking that you have power and control over others while you walk around being fake all the time. If you're walking around being fake, perhaps start there. Heal the darkness that would think any of these rituals are okay. Heal the darkness to which anything that would think exploiting these would be okay. And then making money off of it. You're making money off torturing people. The underbelly has been seen. The underbelly of humanity has been seen. The black web has been seen. These egregious acts have been acknowledged by the human collective heart. We do not need, for the benefit of the children involved in our collective, to see any of these in our collective. Our spirits and souls as adults have seen these egregious things, and we choose to put them on the table for Source Creator to keep the children as protected as possible. They do not need to see or know of any more damage. Cut the cords on all of these rituals and these groups that are doing such. If these groups choose to continue to go forward in such, the cords are being cut between all starseeds and all children and their next victims, and they will immediately be given the highest level of karma. There's no question on this. There's no going back. There's no window. There's no mercy. Your spirits and your higher selves have been told. This is spiritual court. So if they say, well, I didn't see the video that day, your spiritual higher self did. I'm in it. I am it. I'm all realms. There's no more excuses. You cannot bring any excuse to this table. Are we clear? Life is life breath by God, and it can be easily taken away, and that is where we stand right now. Are we all clear? The children said 7 can be saved. We will transfer this, Anubis, transfer those 7 souls that the children have recognized to Source Creator. Source Creator will be a part of these redeeming souls, and these redeeming souls will actually act. They will actually act and come forward. They're not just going to say it and then go hide. They actually have to act. There has to be an action plan for redemption of these souls. Now, whether they do community work, whether they build a school for healing for the children, whether they do something for the children, they're going to build, they're going to create, they're going to build, they're going to create, and they're going to put it back into the children. They're not going to touch these children. They're going to put their money back into the children, and they will donate, and they will give money, and they will give investments, however they need to, whether it's through a person like myself, and we're building healing schools, then you're going to put the money to investments, and you're going to build the healing school, and you're actually going to get in the dirt, and you're actually going to pick up a hammer. Because that's what you do in unity consciousness. Are we clear? Boys and girls of the playground, have you had your time? We have to speak in this way, obviously. Even though you have letters behind your name and you sit in your little glass offices. Anything else, Father? Thank you, Holy Spirit. Spirit says that I've done a very good job at alchemizing these very horrible energies for the collective. Thank the children, please, Spirit. Can you please give the children celebration and please give them gratitude for them for saving these 7 people that they are going to see to it they go to Father for their redemption actions. There will be new laws made of dark occult practices. There will be new laws made, and these new decrees will be any tormenting rituals that takes a life in any way. Cat, dog, doesn't matter. Any children that are exploited, any animals that are exploited through torture because you want to feed your wounding, and that's all it is. It's negative, neutral, and dark, negative, neutral, and positive energy. That's all we're working with. That's all this is. That's all this is. And you put a box around it and you hide behind what you think is a religion. It's not a religion, people. It's not a religion. You've made these things up. You've made them up. And some of these rituals have come thousands of years from the darker temples in Egypt. Because at that time, you were far more draconian, you were far more reptilian. And that's how you fed yourself, because you didn't have crystalline light inside of you. But now, generation after generation after generation, our DNA does have crystalline light. That's what I teach. Christ consciousness, your DNA now has it. There's no excuse on this planet for any human to do such things, because our DNA is sacred. That's what you're not getting. That's what you're not being taught. That's what I have come to teach. And yet I am being suppressed. Now go figure. Who's the monies that are going behind YouTube, Spirit? Who are the people that are silencing my platform? Church and state. Which one of these church and state? When and where and how can I get names and visions on these people? And when will YouTube repay me what I'm owed? They will stop messing with my upload dates and they will repay me what I'm owed. Or we will go to full trial. I will not negotiate. I will not compromise. And we're going to go right to the very end. I will not make a deal with YouTube. I'm going to go to the end. They know this. How are they going to do that? I'm not going to work with them. I'm not going to work with them. The answer is no. 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 We'll talk about it. I want to make this very clear. There are those that are owed money back, and you all know that you've had experiences and you've noticed differences in how you work with light, and if you work with light, and if you work with Source Creator, and understanding your higher self is always here for your highest and your best, and your higher self would never ever tell you, ever in a billion effing evers, ever tell you to do harm to another. Your higher self just wouldn't. And if you're being told to do things to others, then you know that you have entity attachments and you have demons and you have energies in your field that are telling you to do so, or you're part of such agendas that you've agreed to, and you have to heal these. You have to close these beings down and you have to reclaim your power and heal, which is what I've taught from day one. And yet all of you have been so very brazen as to take me out as much as you can and as high as you can, as many times as you can, while I sit on the street sleeping in -5-degree weather, in very dangerous situations, with no support, with no posse, with no friends, with no nothing. And I'm speaking the highest spiritual truth that has ever hit on this planet, so that we can heal the things that happen behind closed doors and in secret, and on the both sides that these men and these wounded people seems to keep doing. And they keep compromising children, they keep compromising destinies, they keep compromising generations, where these children were supposed to come out from behind the most darkest, corrupt, criminal acts that we've ever seen on this planet. And they're absolutely unnecessary. They're 100% unnecessary. It is absolute, complete misknowledge, misinformation, misguidance, absolutely wrong. If you understand DNA, if you understand source, if you understand your soul's blueprint, if you understand anything that I have taught, if you understand anything about self-actualization, if you understand anything about enlightenment, but you don't, all they want to keep doing is feeding their money-making business of torture and torment and sucking souls from those they think that don't have a right to be here because they just want a planet of hate. That's never going to occur. That's not in Gaia's destiny. And you don't have an ounce of say. You're like a little piece of sand. You will never, ever have a say. That's just how low vibrational darkness is. I want to close this out on behalf of my brother and on behalf of me and my family. We have reclaimed our royal lineage. We have reclaimed our royal ancestry. Our ancestry is running strong. Our ancestry is growing by the day. Our ancestry power of light is going to ripple through all creation, and we will create new universes just from my lineage, just from my light, just from my say-so, just from my breath. Make no mistake who you've come across today, dear lighted ones. I am my lineage amped up. eons of being sacrificed simply because I am who I am. I've done nothing to you, don't even know you. And I come speaking peace and love and healing for all, and safety and protection for the children that come from the stars and cosmos to teach you something, to show you unconditional love of the Father and the Mother, to teach you things that are so far out and way out. And can't that be fun? But instead you exploit them and you traffic them and you put them in lower boxes and you put them in systems that just don't fit. And you wonder why they don't like talking to you. On behalf of my family, on behalf of energy, on behalf of Gaia, on behalf of creation, on behalf of the celestials and the star seeds, on behalf of the aliens and on behalf of the angelics, on behalf of every realm and every dimension, in every universe, across all multiverses, across all things that are all life, Source Creator God, I rebuke and I banish and I disintegrate at this very moment on behalf of all that is life. For my voice is this is. I am that I am, the God of new day and new dawn. Everything will be disintegrated from this moment forth, and our names being used in any way, through any torment or torture or hurt or pain to any other, through any magical use or abuse, or any word through any voices and any names of thine self, of thine Jesus. It will be immediately banished, and we will be immediately returned to the golden light that we are and always will be, and it will be returned to the child that they are hurting. For our names will never, ever be used in this vein again, ever. We have reclaimed our status and our standing. The royals have returned. And our breath is golden. And I have my staff and I have my plate. And you don't know thine self. I do. That's my job. I have my rights to reclaim on my behalf of all my lineages and ancestors that were taken out before me. Because you just couldn't keep your hands and your mouths off our shine. The only hope for humanity to come through this 5D are the light workers and the star seeds that say enough is enough. The ignorance has gone too far. Unnecessary to every ounce of quark that has been done in torment and torture to God's sacred life. The touching and the harming of children from here on out will be no more. You will be held 100% liable. Leaders of every country, leaders of every church, be very sure of the roles and robes that you wear, because it matters. And there are new decrees that will assure that your ancestors and your guides in the unseen will make sure of it, that you stand on business. You will not play both sides. The children are sacred. The children are precious. Do not touch them. Our names of royal lineage will never be used again, but in the upliftment of all humanity and all life in this section of the galaxy. Our destinies have been reclaimed. Our DNAs have been reclaimed. My life has been reclaimed. My destiny has been reclaimed. There will never, ever be a ridiculous destiny swap. And if you so as much put this in your mouth, or use mine or mine brother Jesus' name in any of your tormenting, torturing videos, or names, or acts, or rituals, or even pondering of such, your ancestors will have you on the dirt. And that's where you will stay. Get healed, humanity. You've been acting as if you're WWF of the most corrupt people on earth. And it is looking nothing like just a big mess. That's your intelligence. Please look in the mirror. Jesus and I have gone through eons and lineages and incarnations where we've had to work, and we've had to heal, and we've had to see the worst of the worst, and we've had to heal the worst of the worst. Because that's our decree to the Father, to show that we are Holy Christ. And our bodies have to be 100 times stronger than any of yours through the practice of being tormented 100 times more than any of yours, because we are the sacrifices. And I see and I hear and I know, and you think that that's a gift. Do you know how many children I've seen being tormented and then killed? You don't. So when you think you know me and my brother, you don't. We carry things that you will never carry, and thank God for that. Thank God for what I've had to prepare for so that you don't. Stand up, dear lighted ones, be counted. Will you stand up for those that are being abused when you're being asked of it, when you see it, when you know it? Stand up, people. There cannot only be 1 or 2 light workers that stand up and fight the entire corrupt governments. If this is what's been done on my life, my one life, that they thought that I would have died ages ago, this is their mentality. Their bet was that I would have died, so they would have never had to answer for the 17 federal crimes that were done on my life over 50 years. So that I never see a dime or a penny, and I be seen as insane, and I be seen as not possible or even dead. The certificates that have been done on me, fabricated, 100% false, so that I never see a dime of it, and it goes back to the corrupt, back to trafficking, back to tormenting innocent. Just because you think that Satanism and your whatever it is you think it is, that I've already told you, they are still the employees of God. But again, you're not getting it because that's your mentality. Fine, so be it. You're not going to touch my name. That's how much I outrank you. I've stated a law, you cannot use my name, and the ancestors will make it so. None of your rituals will ever touch these children. These children, as the Father said, will be erased of all of these memories. They will never have to carry it in their soul like I did, like I had to heal. I had to transmute those energies. These children will not carry it. They will come back into bodies. That is the Father's gift and blessing when you work with and you align with light. Now you tell me, the higher intelligence. This is how it goes, dear lighted ones. The Father will meet you halfway. Will you get in the elevator and push the button? Can we celebrate and be joyful now? Can we remember what love is? Can we remember what caring is? Can you remember what going over to your neighbor and just doing something nice for them is, and staying out of their business? Take all cameras out of the homes. These exploitation cameras and these exploitation camera companies, you're going to be charged because you know how many cameras you put in a house, and you know how many is okay and how many is not okay. We're going to have new laws, and it will protect life, and it will protect the privacy of those. And if our gifts and skills open, and you can remote view, and you can be psychically seen, and you can be psychically hearing what's going on, you need to work with your teams and your guides to work through your own protocol. Because just because you can remote view doesn't mean you should. There's laws here, dear lighted ones, and we must know them and learn them. Because the right use of free will and non-interference is exactly that. You do anything about this on anybody else because you want to feed your narcissism. You want to feed your psychosis. You want to feed your sadism. You want to feed your sadism. You want to feed your masochism. Go get healed, people. You will no longer touch innocent life. These are the laws, and they are actual laws, judges and lawyers and policemen. These are your rules and jurisdiction to protect at all costs. And if you sign as much as one legal form and you know you are signing it, and I will see it, I will see it, I will see it. I see a piece of paper sitting on a judge's desk right now. Judge, you know who you are. If you sign that piece of paper and you cement that person's life illegally, you will be next, and you know that. You're given fair warning right now. None of you from here on out will be allowed to play the games that you have been playing. I will be given 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times greater sight, and so too will the whistleblowers and everybody coming behind you. You think you're untouchable? I think not. Play with innocent life and see what happens. Keep paying your stalkers and your hackers and your spies and your hitmen and see what happens. Keep playing these games of disregard when the Father breaths you your next breath. See what happens. Are you going to get healed now, delighted ones? Can you know that your food is filled with rich things and you can feed your body and nourish your body, that you can actually feel good about yourself through your own intentions, your own carefulness? How can you be careful with who you are? How can you start to ask God in your life, in the food that you eat, in the body that you have? How can you start to know that you are light and you can see light and you can imagine light and you can do nice things for people and gain your light that way? And then say at the end of the day, I'm not going to be around any more negative people because these things are egregious. And I'm going to speak out when I see it, when I hear it, when I know it, because that's who I am in unity consciousness. Ain't nobody going to get hurt on my watch. And if they do, they know I carry them on my back. Ain't nobody going to left behind. Who do you think I got on my back, dear lighted ones? Who do you think? I got the children that's thrown in the ocean. I got the ones that were thrown in the dumping pile. You don't see it, I do. Judge, you make sure the papers you sign, because I see you. Lawyers, how dare you? Make sure what side of the gate you walk on, because I'm going to put you on whatever side of the gate you are. Your vibration speaks. Prosecuting attorneys, my God. Who are you prosecuting? Bigotry? Who are you prosecuting? Who are you prosecuting? You sit in bigotry right now. That's what you are. You've come to my temple. This is my space. You're a prosecuting attorney. My. What side of the fence do you walk on? You say righteousness, are you? You like to prosecute. Why? Because that gives you power. It's a false sense of power, isn't it? If you're doing it illegally and you're doing illegal things behind the gates, you don't think I see you. Prosecuting attorneys. You like to throw that word around, don't you? Just like the man of the cloth. Who is thine father? Church and state got you all warped up, didn't it? None of you know the Father. I am the new rain, dear lighted ones. R-E-I-G-N. This is my garden. The Father and the Mother are in every one of your breath. Please be grateful for it. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Call in the holy light. We're calling in highest divine light, highest crystalline light. Open up your pillar of light. Open up your chakras. We're calling in light, delighted ones. We've done some powerful decrees on this spiritual grid today. Boy, oh boy, Gaia's walking forward with a strong garden. And her roots are going to be thick. Your roots are thick, Gaia. Your roots are thick. And we're taking you through to 5D. And we're going to heal and we're going to transmute all of the energies that ever thought these things were okay. And the black web is going to get pulled. And we will put it in our gardens for nourishment, because that's how we can transmute, because that's we're godly. There ain't nothing I can't transmute. That's why I'm here. You give me the darkest, you give me the dirtiest, and I'm going to transmute it to something great, because that's what I do. I take where there's nothing, and I take it and I make it something. You give me a barren planet, I'm going to make something out of it. You give me lemonades, I'll make the greatest drink, I'll make it great times 10. You give me the most egregious acts, and we're going to turn this around. This is my garden. That's why the Father hath birthed me and breathed me in all things. This garden will be robust in abundance, and the children will be healed times 10. They will not be given any of those memories. They will not have to transmute these energies in their soul's record. Is that clear? Karma board. You will erase these from their karma. They will not be seen in their souls. They will be free of these traumas. And those that commit them will remain in the mud realms forever. These are the new laws. So speak wide amongst your dark communities. These are the new laws. Perhaps you get wise and healed, dear lighted ones. The things you do are unnecessary 100%. Unless it is that you choose to be in jail and you choose to be in the lower realms and never have another body. It's your choice. God will love you either way. But you will not abuse our name. Our lineage is, and it stands strong, and we've got a new garden, newer star Gaia. Thank you, Holy Spirit. On behalf of all the children on this planet, may you be known that your crystalline hearts and your crystalline songs and your crystalline voices and your crystalline dreams and your star seed becomings, may you be the cosmic children that you've always been and you always will be. Forever in my garden you will run free. And every voice will be heard on this planet. And every egregious act that you've made money on will go back to the people, go back to their healing. And we will make healing schools and temples and places of study, and we will make good things. Unbreakable bonds of goodness, because we care, and we are careful with life. And isn't that being angelic? Don't you want to be careful with life, all of it? Animals, food, grain, soil, sand and water, and air, because it's us. Change the rules and the laws, dear lighted ones, because it's just simple truth, and it makes sense. Get the chemtrails out of the air. Leaders of countries, bone up and get wise. You will not touch another country if you hath no desire or need to. Get your hands out of other people's pockets and get right. There's lots that you can do on your own soils. I see so much that can be done on your own soils. Why are you paying attention to other countries? You don't think your agendas are known. Get wise. That's your last warning. Take a deep breath in, dear lighted ones. For those of planet Earth, your voice is your voice. Speak up and share it in loving and honoring ways. You are to be initiated only through your higher self and your higher self only. They are the only ones that know you and your soul's blueprint. If you choose to be initiated by anybody else outside of you, to belong to a special club or group, make sure you're very sure about where you will stand, because you will not play both sides. Not in this garden. Get healed, dear lighted ones. Jealousy, envy, greed, gluttony, sense of self, no sense of self, whatever it is that you are suffering, insecurities, this, that, whatever it is, heal it. Go to the wound and heal your rejection. Go to the wound and heal your no sense of self. Go to the wound and start designing a life with source. It's called daily pathwork. Put the daily care back into you so that you can arise again as a very strong sense of light and the pillar of light that is on your spine, that vibrates your chakras and activates you into more being of you. Your chakras hold aspects of you. Your chakras hold stories of you. Your chakras hold benevolence of you. Your chakras hold beauty and joy and passion of you. Your chakras are vital for us to know about, dear lighted ones. We should be studying daily about our chakra systems. They are multidimensional gems. They are multidimensional precious little crystals from all creation. The chakra system is so profound. It's infinite in its learning. It's multidimensional of Christed light. It allows you to heal a disease just like that. With the consciousness and the innate and your power of light and your pillar of light and your oneness with your higher self, there is nothing more powerful and nothing higher of intelligence. This is the system, dear lighted ones. Natural and pure light. You are connected with God. Everything is godly. Isn't that something to celebrate? You finally get taught the truth on this planet. You are a multidimensional mechanism. The beings on this planet that have been here, that rise through all galaxies of information and wisdom that are taught to this day, and they are enhanced to this day. Thoth Trismegistus, Thoth Ra, ripples new energy. Thoth is working with us in every moment on these spiritual grids. Call upon Thoth. Call upon Isis, the goddess of divine feminine. Mother Mary, the Pleiadian sisters, call upon these blessed goddesses. These are new grounds, and our food will be rich and good. And our systems will be of light and crystalline templates of only that God can design. We've always been celestial, dear lighted ones. Perhaps you choose the rituals and practices that serve you. Don't you want to be served? These decrees are very true and real. Put them in the new Akashic timelines, spiritual grids. These are the new decrees. Every spiritual temple will know these. And we will study ourselves to be healed of those that have been taken advantage of and those that have escaped, like myself. They will need to be healed. And all of you know the understanding of DNA and how sometimes you get stuck in these patterns that were taken thousands of years ago. It's unnecessary now. Your DNA is far advanced. You should not be doing rituals that are far degrading of your DNA. Your DNA is the blueprint, dear lighted ones. If your DNA says you're here, why would you be here? Why would you choose to be here? Because there hasn't been proper teachings on your planet. So now we begin. Your DNA, your water body, your chakra systems, your energy fields, who you are as a mechanism of God is everything. Know it as light. Call in light. Work with your healing teams at night. Work with your higher self every day. If you need to make a decision, put your consciousness in the middle of your chest and call in your higher self. Call in your guides. What is the highest intention for me in this moment, Divine Mother and Father? For my highest benevolent path, what is the highest choice for me? Please show me the way. Please allow my body to feel light in the highest choice. And your teams will show you 1 path, 2 path, 3 path, and you will feel a lighten on one of those paths. That is your choice. Pay attention to your body. Pay attention to how your body feels. Pay attention to what your body is showing you. Pay attention to what your body is manifesting. You are a dynamic mechanism of Metatronic light in a Metatronic universe. Your God is Metatronic. Father is everything Metatronic. How can it not be? Quantum is everything, dear lighted ones. And now you're seeing and understanding what you put out comes back. And sometimes we have to shake the house out to just clean it out. All of the crooks and all of the crannies. Because you've been given wrong information and misguided for so very long, and we're not going to continue it. It ends today. It must. The higher order of higher consciousness. We will raise our consciousness on this planet through wisdom and intelligence. And we will behave and act in caring and kindness and compassion for all life. And we will build bridges to higher realms, and we will have on and off world travel and on and off world discoveries, explorations, and becomings. This is the destiny of Gaia. This is her birthright, and she deserves it. She will not be taken over, and she will not be owned by any one person or any one group. She is a sovereign being unto herself. And if you choose to misbehave on her land, then she will show you your time is up. The time of arrogance and ownership over others and domination over others is done. You will take down and you will disband all of your nuclear war bombs and whatever it is you think you might play with. The galactic federations will not allow you to detonate any of it because it does affect travel within the entire galaxy. The slipstreams and the nodes and the nulls of power and energy are affected by nuclear war, and we will not allow it. You will not trump over these experiences. We are jurisdiction on this. You are not. Are we clear? Move forward in the highest of benevolence, dear lighted ones, of the greater good. That's all that's required. Do unto others. That's all that's required. It is very easy. Perhaps you all focus on your time to heal. Go within and ask Spirit and Source Creator, Mother, Father, and give yourself the love that you deserve. You have made it this far. Now this is up to you, dear lighted ones. How may you walk forward in your soul's evolution? Will you do it with pride and honor and knowing that you're going to get up every day and you're still going to make right and you're still going to do the very best for you and your family and your ancestors that have brought you this far? Your ancestors have fought hard for you. So speak to them and praise them. If you're going to do rituals of love and honor and blessedness. This is how you manifest, dear lighted ones. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you, everybody. That's a powerful energy going into the grits. Thank you, everybody. For donations and sessions, please. If you want any invocation alignment sessions, paypal.me/Joanna L. Ross. I did see visions. I had a vision last night of an earthquake. I don't know where it was, but there was a vision of an earthquake, and that probably goes to just clearing out some of the darker energies. We just did a huge clearing today, so that was the decree. We have to see the underbelly, and we have to face it. We have to do the 3 A's for us to transmute these energies that have been going on since the beginning of time, that people chose to use torment as a feeding
as a feeding ritual. And you only do feeding rituals through torment and torture and fear for the uses of control and domination over others. And that's why people do these things. They choose not to use love, they choose to use fear. And so that's why these rituals are done. And again, they're misinformed and they don't have proper information. And so it's my job to come and teach that information, proper spiritual information, and then it's up to everybody in the collective as free will. We cannot drag you and we cannot make you. You will do it as you will do, and you will do based on your feeling of love of yourself, because if you love yourself, you would never harm another. And so everybody from Calgary, you're all forgiven. Again, you have no weight with me. I don't have anything to say to all of you. You all know my bank account number. My ex, you know my bank account number. If you want to make things right, you put my money back in my bank. I don't need to meet you. You're all forgiven. Please stop following me. Stop stalking me. I would never get together with anybody from the past. I would never get together with anybody that did rituals on me. I just wouldn't. I just wouldn't. I would never be with anybody that does rituals on me. I just wouldn't. I've said it 100,000 times. I've said my human rights. I've said everything 100,000 times. You've brought me living on the street. I cry just about every night because I live on the street and it's cold as hell and I don't deserve it. I don't deserve how I've been treated. Everybody's forgiven. What would make me so happy is that you all go away and you all go heal and you get connected with God and you connect with God and you heal. I didn't deserve what happened. I know that I escaped. I know that I'm here to help all the children. I know that I'm here to bring new decrees. I know that I have a very big plan. But I can't really have fun and be appreciative of it and have my great time because I'm living on the street in utter poverty and I have a huge mess in my finances to fix because of what these people have done. So that's where my life sits right now, is fixing all the things that have been done because of 50 years of abhorrent discrimination, abuse, systematic abuse. I don't even know my real birth date because nobody's brought me that peace. I don't even know my real name. I don't even know my real father because nobody's brought me that peace. The people that have been tormenting me, they know it. The people that have been stealing from me, they know it. So while I sit on the street and I figure out how I'm going to stay warm all night, you want to see if you can make right and you want to come back and date me. We'll never date. We will never date, ever. You try and kill me 800,000 times and then you say, let's go on a date? No, ever, never. I will never, ever, 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 ever in a billion effing evers. You will never be in my proximity to ever be on a date with me. You do rituals on me and you destroyed my life. It's a hell no. But thanks anyways. I'm not going to keep saying the same thing. I have human rights. I have universal rights. You will be shown a way. Please keep your healing. Please keep going with your healing. I am not going to be your girlfriend, ever. The damages to my soul have been done. And the Father will keep lifting me. I am unblemished. And I have transcended, and I am the only divine feminine to make it as far as I did, and I'm going to keep going because the children need me. So if you want to make it right and you want to please the Father in the heavens, return the money that you stole and keep working on your light and keep expressing your story, your way, through your authenticity. You're not going to be like me, be you. Express your story, keep healing, keep healing, keep healing, and show the world and show the universe that you're willing to change. That's the evolution of your soul, and that's what matters. Your money will never matter if you don't choose to be a part of goodness. The investments I need for new tools and new spaces, it needs to go in my accounts. What I need right now more than anything is money to get into a safe space because I am not protected by anybody other than the galactic federations. And as you can see, I'm still alive. Therefore, thus then, please, if you wish to help, donate to my PayPal, please. My ex, you have access to my bank account. Go put the money back in that you take it and you stole from me. And then you go to the police and you tell all of the false crimes and the false accusations and the POAs and the death. All of those things are all false. The only thing I've signed in the last 8 years is my divorce. My divorce was stamped by the Calgary Kings of Courts on May 24th, 2004. I am legally divorced and it's legally going to stay that way. So please, people, if you're a warlock or a witch or anybody of these likes, I will never date you. You need to get healed. I'm not going to be a part of your church. I will never be a part of your coven. Don't ask, stop asking, stop thinking about it. I'm not going to heal. I'm not going to lift up your coven
It's up to everybody to release themselves from the coven mentality and get wise. We're in new ground here, delighted ones. If you want a session for your personal healing, then book appointment. PayPal.me/Joanna L. Ross. I would be very grateful and appreciative of any donations at this time. And there are those in the bigger companies, the governments, and YouTube that you absolutely know what you owe me. You absolutely know per diem, and Spirit has been speaking with you about your retribution that you owe me. And it is already 2 years late. So again, it's your choice to continue doing what you're doing. I deserve my retribution. I deserve justice. So I'll leave it all in your hands. Thank you so very much. And thank you to my 2 clients that have been donating to me. You are my saving grace, and you will absolutely get tenfold when I receive my monies and when the Father lifts me. I love you so very much. I love you so very much. Thank you, dear lighted ones. I love you. I love you. I love you. We are going to say goodbye because I have another session. Okay? I love you, dear lighted ones. And have a great day and work with your light.